Well, welcome to our discussion on food security. I'm Ryan Wibbs, and this is my socially distanced host. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Olivia Boyce.
And we're going to be speaking about food security today, and just kind of in more of a general context of what is food security, where do we find food security, how does it impact us in different communities, in different places, and also what are the connections to, for example, studying food or working in food and food security. So we have an amazing host or guest with us tonight, Olivia Boyce. And Olivia, do you want to outline a bit of your background and why you decided to agree to speak with me about food security?
Yeah, sure. So I started as an intern at the Global Market a few years ago, and I had the chance to work with the farmers market, our community kitchen, and to do a bit of work into looking into starting a food council here in Brandon. And the last few years we've been working towards creating, and now I've created and working with the food council. So I get to coordinate and be a part of that group, which Ryan has so willingly been a part of.
Well, the Food Council is amazing. Do you want to tell people just a high-level version of what the Food Council is?
Yeah, the Food Council is a group of volunteers here in Brandon, Manitoba, who come together to make Brandon more food secure.
Excellent, great. And my background, similar to Olivia, we kind of both come from the food world, but different parts of the food world. I'm a chef by training and a food historian by study, I guess. But I really focus on food culture. So how do people connect with food? How do people experience foodways? And what elements of culture of our food world do people kind of select to represent themselves when they cook, when they shop, and when they build their kind of food environment. So it's a really kind of, we've certainly got different perspectives, but also some similar perspectives coloring our lenses tonight. And we did remove our masks because we're more than 6 feet. So we decided it would be good to have this conversation with distance between us, but without our masks so that people could hear us. So we've got a few questions, and I think Olivia and I will go back and forth kind of explaining our perspectives on these different issues. And the first question is supposed to be easy, but actually I don't think this is an easy question. What does the term food security mean to you, Olivia?
Yeah, I think you are exactly right. It is such a challenge to describe food security in all of its components. And I always go back to the 5 A's of food security that was developed by Ryerson University, I believe. And it's just making sure that people have enough food available, that it's of adequate nutrition, that they have agency and choice in the foods that they choose. And it's coming from a sustainable food system that's ethical for everyone involved, from production to consumption.
What is the security piece? What does it mean to be either food secure or, I guess, food insecure?
So food security would be not having to worry about running out of food, not worrying about being able to provide nutritious food for yourself, whereas household food insecurity is a measurement of material deprivation or poverty. here in Canada. And so that's when you worry about running out of food, or you don't have enough food, or quantity or quality of food.
So it's multifaceted for sure.
Yeah, it covers a few different things.
Definitely. It is interesting because, when we think about food security, from my perspective, from kind of the industrial, the restaurants, hotel perspective, it's a relatively new concept. And actually, I think a lot of people are just realizing that there are a lot of people in Canada who are food insecure. As restaurant businesses, we do have kind of a sense of giving back, for sure, of charitable donation, of special programming. But to frame it in a food security kind of long-term program that, kind of achieves certain outcomes, I would suggest maybe that the restaurant industry hasn't grappled fully with what that means for business owners. So what does a food security program or emphasis or sensitivity in a restaurant setting, what does that look like over a longer period of time? Because certainly, as you say, it's having enough food, it's having quality food, that food being available and accessible, and it being culturally appropriate as well. So, certainly food programming is great, but how do we also kind of meet the other aspects of food security for local people?
Yeah, I'd say the most important part is making sure that people can participate equitably in the food system. And the number one thing is having enough economic resources, making sure you have enough finances. So paying people a living wage would be number one, and doing those income boosting measures so that people can purchase their own food.
Absolutely, definitely.